Module 2, Financial and Legal Implications of Alcohol and Substance Use. Let's do a quick review. In the first module, we covered many of the physical and mental health impacts substance use has. In this module, we're going to explore the financial and legal implications substance use can have on individuals and their families. If you've ever known someone who has suffered from a substance use disorder, or have been that person yourself, you'll know how much of an emotional toll it can have on you and your loved ones. It can put a strain on your relationships and affect both your personal and professional life. Having a substance use disorder also comes with serious health concerns. Misusing drugs can seriously harm your body, and you may even have to deal with those consequences for the rest of your life. While the health issues and strain on relationships are usually the first things we all think about when it comes to a substance use disorder, we can't forget about the financial costs of substance abuse as well. According to researchers, the economic burden of substance use disorder in the United States is more than twice than that of any other neurological disease. Of course, actually buying drugs in the first place can be costly, but there are additional expenses when it comes to healthcare, legal fees, and other social costs. Let's not forget that those struggling with a substance use disorder may often end with a loss of income. Let's take a look at the financial toll of addiction. If you have a substance abuse disorder or an addiction, paying for it can get very expensive, regardless of the substance of choice. Even something that can be cheap, such as alcohol, can drain your bank account over time, especially if you find you need to use more and more to get the desired effect. Let's put this in perspective. If you drink a cheap $5 six-pack of beer every day, that's $150 a month. That's almost $1,000 in 6 months to support this habit. Now switch out the $5 beer to a more expensive drug like cocaine or heroin, and the cost skyrockets. Some people can easily spend more than $10,000 each year to support their addiction. Abusing drugs can make you significantly less productive. You may start to notice that you're calling in sick to work more often, and when you do make an appearance, the quality of your work is very subpar. Poor work performance can mean you miss out on promotions or bonuses, a cutback on shifts, or you could even lose your job. Many persons with substance use disorder lose their jobs and remain unemployed as a result of their addiction. Others can end up in jail, prisons, or long-term rehabilitation facilities, which can result in years of lost productivity. It can be very difficult to get yourself back in the workforce after years of unemployment due to drug abuse. Social Security and retirement benefits can also be affected. So even after recovery, you could continue to experience the financial impact of your addiction for years. Over a lifetime, addiction can cost an addicted person thousands of dollars and lost productivity potential. There are also many hidden costs that we may not think about. Having a substance use disorder can result in serious health problems. This is already a huge and life-threatening cost. However, it also comes with increased healthcare fees and insurance premiums. Another cost that may be often overlooked is the increase in car insurance premiums and fines you incur as a result of your addiction. Getting arrested for driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol may result in a 300% increase in your car insurance premiums, significant legal fees, and let's not forget about potential jail time. Other payments you may need to make include fees for attorney services, educational courses, and drug-related fines. The costs of addiction on society are also extremely high. Drug addiction costs society billions of dollars in healthcare expenditures, enforcement of drug laws, and lost productivity among employers. Addiction can also result in unpaid debts, missed payments, late fees, and foreclosure of property. According to research, excessive drinking alone costs the United States approximately $223 billion in healthcare expenses, law enforcement costs, and lost productivity, and that was in 2006. In 2007, similar problems relating to illicit drug use cost the country another $193 billion. Perhaps you aren't aware that drinking and driving is a cash cow for the legal system. Maybe you think that it's just a slap on the wrist and a few fines, and then you're back to driving again. If that's what you think, take a look at the video above and have your mind about to be blown. According to MSNBC, a typical DUI costs about $10,000 by the time you pay bail, fines, fees, and insurance, even if you didn't hit anything or hurt anybody. This was back in 2011. A new report says that the first-time DUI conviction can cost as much as $15,649. Are you under 21? If so, the news is worse. You can expect it to cost you $22,492 according to the same report. That's a lot more than a slap on the wrist. It's a fistful grabbed into your bank account, and it's one that keeps on taking and taking. Here's how some of the costs break down. For bail, between $150 and $2,000. For towing of your vehicle, $100 to $300. Vehicle impounding, $100 to $400 depending on the length of the impound, and if you don't retrieve your vehicle within 60 days, it can be sold at auction. Insurance increase, up to $40,000 over a 13-year span, according to DMV.org. Some of this fee is required SR22 certification for the first 3 years. After that, the costs are from increased premiums as compared to the baseline of your age. Legal fees, up to $25,000. A competent DUI lawyer is going to cost around $4,000, with higher costs for more experience in high-profile cases. Fines, $300 minimum up to $3,000. The judge may allow you to do community service or jail time instead of paying part of the fine. Alcohol and driving classes, $550 and 12 to 45 hours depending on the judge's discretion on the first offense. On the second offense, it could carry 18 months of required classes. The cost for the 18-month class is significantly higher and varies depending on the school. Monitoring devices, $300 to $1,200. Generally, first offenders are not required to wear a monitoring device. However, if the judge deems that it's necessary, these devices are available for rent and will cost about $100 a month plus a security deposit of $200 or more. Ignition lock, $100 to $200 plus monthly rental fees of $70 to $100. And finally, a license reinstatement fee of $150. Drug charges often carry different consequences. Depending on the amount and type of substance involved, drug charges may be either a misdemeanor or a felony. Most states and the federal government define misdemeanors as crimes punishable by a year or less in jail, whereas felonies are all offenses with a maximum sentence of a year or more. These seemingly small daily choices can lead to heavy expenses and life-altering legal charges. Another thing to keep in mind is that if your job involves driving, handling medicine, or children, you can face other consequences. These high sensitive jobs will carry high responsibility and often can result in loss of licensure and other more serious consequences. Now this concludes Module 2. I want to remind you, we hope that you are taking notes as you go on because there will be an exam at the end of this module series. What's coming up next? In Module 3, we'll explore family and relationship implications related to substance use disorder.